I'm General Glenn Walters, United States Marine Corps retired, and I serve as the president of the Citadel. Congratulations on your receiving acceptance to my alma mater. Our mighty Citadel is a special place. We demand hard work and selflessness and a desire to join others equally committed to becoming principal leaders. Our graduates apply the lessons learned here for service in our armed forces and every other professional field. All Citadel graduates share a universal commitment to lead and serve, and our bonds to one another are unlike any other alumni. Your acceptance is the first step towards wearing this ring of gold and joining the long gray line of proud graduates who took the road less traveled. Welcome to the Citadel. I hope to meet you and your family soon as you start your journey. Our mighty Citadel. These words have a special meaning because they make us think about what's special about our college. And they make us think about the task at hand and what we can do to preserve what is special about this college, while also taking the steps necessary to make sure that this college and what it stands for will stand forever. We are a mighty Citadel with a sacred mission to educate and develop principal leaders for all walks of life. The values-based education we offer here is more important now than it ever has been. To stand forever, we must preserve the traditions that make the Citadel such a special place. The traditions of service, challenge, resilience, and camaraderie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Citadel's Cadet Academic Webinar Series. Today we'll be diving into the worlds of civil engineering and construction engineering. My name is Seamus Gillen. I'm a member of the Citadel's class of 1996, and I serve as Associate Director of Admissions. I would also like to introduce my counterpart, Josh Simon, class of 2008, who will be assisting on the technical side of tonight's event. Engineering has a very unique and storied history here at the Citadel. Since our founding in 1842, the mission of the Citadel has been to forge and deliver principled leaders into the world. Whether as commissioned officers in our 4 service branches or as dynamic leaders in business or education, engineering cadets have and continue to play a vital role in this dynamic legacy. Tonight, we will meet 2 engineering cadets with an additional engineering faculty member joining us. Each cadet has a different story to tell. We will learn why they chose the Citadel, which specific engineering major attracted them, as well as how these academic experiences have cumulatively prepared them to reach their goals. This program will conclude with a faculty-led Zoom breakout meeting covering both majors. We will post this link in the comments section at the conclusion of this segment. In addition, our viewers will receive both a text and email message 30 minutes after the program ends. This will lead you to a quick and easy form to complete that will ensure the accurate delivery of your Citadel Class of 2025 Citadel pennant. These pennants were exclusively designed for these events. All right, everybody, let's get with it. Let's meet our guests. The first panelist of the evening is Cadet Sam Bloomer, a senior construction engineering major from Greenville, South Carolina, who serves as the Alpha Company academic officer. Cadet Bloomer chose the Citadel because of a desire for a more challenging college experience that would cultivate his growth as a leader, as well as provide an outstanding opportunity to participate in the Citadel's Division I track and field team. Speaking of which, Cadet Bloomer serves as the captain of the men's track and field team, where he competes as a pole vaulter. Rounding out his Division I exploits, Cadet Bloomer was named Southern Conference Student Athlete of the Week multiple times. Since his first semester on campus, Cadet Bloomer has achieved both Gold Stars and Dean's List. We'll talk more about these. This is a tremendous academic feat. Cadet Bloomer has participated in a professional internship at Hogan Construction Group in Easley, South Carolina, each summer of his cadet journey, and aims to continue his educational path at the Citadel with a master's degree in project management while continuing to serve as part of the track and field team. Congratulations on your continuing success, Sam. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Our next panelist is Cadet William Tally Moorman, a senior civil and environmental engineering major who hails from Columbia, South Carolina. Cadet Moorman chose the Citadel over other college options because of our top-ranked engineering school's credentials, our small, intense classroom format, as well as his inspired interactions with Citadel alumni. Cadet Moorman serves as the Kilo Company Executive Officer. This is the number 2 officer in the company. He's a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers, the Institute of Transportation Engineers. He also has achieved Gold Stars. He's achieved this designation twice. He's achieved Dean's List 5 times and was selected for internships in both construction and engineering design. Upon graduation, Cadet Moorman will be entering the engineering workforce in either the geotechnical engineering or roadway transportation design. Cadet Moorman, congratulations on your achievements thus far, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
And finally, we have Dr. Mary Catherine Watson. Dr. Watson is currently an assistant professor in civil and environmental engineering at the Citadel. Prior to joining the faculty at the Citadel, Dr. Watson earned her PhD in civil and environmental engineering from Georgia Tech. She also has a BS and MS degrees in biosystems engineering from Clemson University. Dr. Watson specializes in engineering education, biological waste treatment, sustainable engineering, and environmental engineering. Professor Watson, thank you so much for taking some time to join us tonight. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to get a sneak peek of some of our new students coming in.
We'll be showing them to you shortly.
Excellent.
The cadet experience is quite demanding. It takes a 18 credit hour course load each and every semester. There are vast expectations and responsibilities that each of the cadets have to undertake. Cadets Bloomer and Moorman, we appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to share your experiences with us and with our future civil engineering students. The Citadel engineering students that are watching tonight's event. When I think about the Citadel, I think it's only appropriate to begin this discussion of the Citadel journey where it begins, and that would be the historic knob year. Every Citadel graduate and upper-class cadet reflects on Recognition Day, as it has long been the ceremonial culmination of the demanding leadership training of knob year. Right now, we're going to share a video with our viewers that showcases what this day and feels like. I'm sure that video brings our cadet panelists back a few years, that's for sure. It showcases the nature of the Citadel's leadership and discipline training. What's missing from this is how the engineering candidates who arrive at the Citadel find early academic success. This is by standard definition, this is a rigorous place. From an engineering standpoint, it's even more rigorous. Cadet Bloomer, you've earned gold stars and Dean's List each and every semester you've been a cadet. First of all, explain to our audience what it means to earn gold stars and Dean's List.
Yeah, Seamus. So getting gold stars means that for a semester or term, you have a GPA of 3.70 or higher, and no C's or incompletes in any classes. And Dean's List means that you have a GPA of a 3.20 or higher, and also no C's or incompletes in those classes. I'm
going to follow up with a follow-up question right there. Achieving these milestones takes a lot of tenacity, for sure. When you think back of the student that you were as a senior to where you are now, what's changed? What did you have to learn that first year?
I would say it was a big eye-opener for me. In high school, I didn't have to study, and I was kind of just naturally smart, it felt like. And then I came into college, and it was an eye-opener for sure, because it was completely different for me. It may not be so different for others, but the workload, the individualism, as far as you're not under your parents' roof, you're on your own. You gotta grow up a little bit and handle your own stuff. So I would say that everyone has different experiences with it, but it's all about finding what works for you whenever you transition into it.
Cadet Mormon, I'm going to shift to you. You've also earned gold stars and Dean's List multiple times. What advice would you offer the high school seniors who are preparing to arrive this fall as engineering students?
Yes, sir. I would honestly echo Sam, and you have to really just find what works for you. I was in the same boat coming in. I did not really have good study habits or anything. And so it really just took a lot of me seeing me make bad grades and realize I have to change how I'm studying and be able to get better and continually learn how to study better throughout the years.
I think the first couple tests that most cadets have are wake-up calls for what's required to persevere here. You have to adjust, recalibrate, as they say. Cadet Bloomer, I'm going to shift back to you. You balance an effective regimen in regards to your academic responsibilities and also your captaincy role with the men's track and field team. Explain this balance to us. What is the day in the life in a brief manner? How do you achieve success on both sides of the athletic and academic environment?
I'd say it's all about time management, and that's something that the Citadel is very good at teaching you. You're kind of forced into it as a knob, but it really helps. Personally, I wake up, go to formation, go about my classes and whatnot. Whenever I'm done with classes, I'll go to a practice, maybe a lift afterwards, and then go to dinner, and then I hit the books when I'm studying and all that. So I've got my routine, and again, going back to everybody's is different. It's all about finding your routine.
And this spills into the next element. Cadet Mormon, you mentioned as part of the attraction points the Citadel had was that we have a very attractive student-faculty ratio. 12-to-1 is what we've held at the Citadel for decades and decades. Have you seen this realized in the actual classroom experiences you've had thus far?
Yes, sir, like 100%. I think last semester I had a class, there was 11 of us and one teacher. And our teacher knew all of our names by the end of the first class period. And so, I mean, it's like personalized on a whole different level compared to high school. They're there for you. We have teachers. I mean, I think if I went into our engineering building right now, I'd still have teachers in their office willing to help out any students that had any questions, whether it was for a class they were teaching or not. If they have any advice, they're always willing to share it with you and talk with you about schoolwork, postgraduate life, internships, anything you want to talk about.
And that leads to a greater element in life. And this isn't just restricted to the engineering school. This is an institutional norm, the 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. I'm going to shift to Professor Watson. This question is relative to maybe the attractive nature of the Citadel's teaching environment. Did the student-faculty ratio play a role in your decision to choose the Citadel as your current home?
Absolutely. So as the cadets shared, our classroom environments are engaging and also supportive. So as you think about what it's like to be a first-year student, the classroom is where your relationships with faculty begin. Because of the small class sizes, faculty get to know your names. They know when you're struggling. They know when you have a big event coming up in your life. And so faculty are able to tailor the class to all of those types of things. things. And I'll just add, it's the beginning of the relationship, but not the end. So it's through those classroom relationships that we're able to recruit students for undergraduate research, internship opportunities, and then into senior year, connecting our students with jobs that match their career goals. So it's the beginning of a very long and productive relationship.
You mentioned the term relationship, and that's really what it is. I think the faculty that are drawn here are seeking that. They enjoy and prosper in that relationship-born environment. I keep tabs with. I was an English major, so I'm an outlier here, but at the Citadel here, and have a master's degree as well. And I keep tabs with my favorite professors here. It's one of the added joys of this place is that the relationships you foster here do carry on, as you say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was just going to share, I got an email today from a former student who just started a master's degree, and he sent me his thesis proposal to review for him. So it was a great connection to have.
That's outstanding. I love those stories. And this is, again, these are common. This is the standard of expectation, I think, for our candidates tonight to be considering carefully, is that we're not a cosmopolitan college where you get lost in a sea of folks. This is a place where you're known. You're a known quantity each and every day in each and every class. So that's a big point. Cadet Mormon, you've already had a variety of professional internships in both construction and engineering design. How do you see, and this also ties into the relationship side, how do you see this cultivation of professional networks as an asset to your own professional growth as well as your post-graduation employment opportunities?
I think definitely just if you have an internship, it gives you like real world experience that you can quickly apply when you come back to school. And it really helps. I mean, I like you said, I did it in construction and in design, and I was able to learn just a lot of communication skills, working on job sites, learn how to communicate with a lot of different people. That really transitions well back at the Citadel. And then two, just real world applications of what you're learning in class, because you might see it on paper and on the smartboard in the classroom, but when you see it out in the real world, it's a whole different ball game, and it makes you really understand what you're looking at.
Absolutely. It carries on. And by the way, which barracks are you in this evening, Mr. Mormon?
I'm in law barracks.
You're in law barracks. I don't know if you have an opportunity, but it might be fun for our audience to see a quick peripheral tour of the room there. If you can just do a quick showcase of what it looks like there.
Yes, sir. All righty.
We still have you?
Yeah, so yes, sir. I live in a large. We got 4 people living in this large. There's our door. One of my roommates over there. That's Eric.
Hey, say hello to the audience.
There's 2 sets of bunk right there. And then there's Charles, other roommate, and my roommate is an Army contract, and so on for a training weekend. They left today.
I saw them out on the parade field priming up and inventorying all the necessities for their FTX. It's going to be a grinder out there for those guys, but that's good stuff. Thanks for the tour. Appreciate that, Cadet Mormon.
Yes, sir. Of course.
We have a couple other elements here. Cadet Bloomer, I'm going to jump back to you. You serve as a company academic officer. Explain to our audience what the role entails and who you primarily serve in your company environment.
Yes, sir. So as an academic officer, I'm not your average upperclassman who's a rank holder and who's mean and trying to get you in shape as a knob. But I'm primarily focused on the attendance and the grades of a company. And with that comes keeping people accountable and knowing who you're working with. And that can range from a knob to a senior. So you got to know who you're talking to and be able to relate in any situation.
Agreed. One of the functional things that I think about with respect to academic officers is that there's a keen, and it's really the first couple maybe months of campus time, you're spending more time than not with freshmen. You're helping them connect with resources. There is a long-standing tradition of excellence and difficulty in being an engineering major here at the Citadel. So those first couple months are really, really critical in helping these freshmen that arrive find traction academically. We have a Cadet Success environment that ranges from the Cadet Success Institute during the summer in preparation for the college, as well as an open season call for advanced help, professional help throughout the evening study period that we have, the mandatory study period that we commence Sunday through Thursday. You play a role in dividing, in telling the knobs where to go, how to get help. That's really, really important for our audience to understand, that the resources that we deploy each and every academic evening include the company academic officer, and they include all these resources, tutoring services, all kinds of different things that are aimed to ensure that folks have the resources they need to be successful. It's not an easy transition. If it was an easy major, everyone would be an engineering major, but they're not. So there's a real importance in understanding that you can come here with concern and you can struggle, but there are resources that will help you get that forward inertia. And the academic officer is the conduit for a lot of these opportunities. So you're not lost in a sea of freshmen without a guide map. You have a lot of people telling you how to get the help you need. I think one of the things that I would share in addition to that is, don't be prideful on the academic front. I'm sure and our cadets have indicated this, is that when you arrive at the Citadel, you're humbled in many ways, right? I used to think I was great at this, and then I was around people who were far better. That doesn't change on the academic side. You're going to be around a lot of smart people. My roommate at the Citadel was from Thailand. He was an electrical engineer. He's going to be a one-star in short order. Extraordinarily smart. His English skills were not strong, and my calculus skills were not strong. So we found a way to connect and leverage each other's skill sets to be successful. But that's part of the cadet equation. So resources are there, and academic officers, that's where I'm circling around here to go, is to talk about how important the entirety of the resource offerings are to cadet success on a daily basis. Professor Watson, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I'm going to dive a little deeper. Our cadets on this panel have had productive internship experiences. This is the standard. This is the norm in terms of our process in preparing folks for employment. How does the faculty advisory role shape these cadet outcomes with respect to professional direction and employment?
So we have a number of resources available for students to help connect them with internship and job opportunities. Maybe the most productive one is coming up soon here. It's called the Engineering Expo. Every year we have upwards of 60 companies who come to campus just to talk with our students. And part of what's involved with that is really the great alumni network that we have. So the number of civil and construction firms that come to us looking for graduates far surpasses the number of graduates that we have. So it's opportunities like the Engineering Expo where companies actually come to campus to talk with students. As a faculty advisor, I'm able to connect my current students with alumni that I have had in the past. So I'm able to suggest that they go talk to this company or that company, or go find this former student or that former student, because I know that they have similar interests and that the alumni would be a good person to mentor them. So it's about making connections. As a faculty, I have access to my former students as well as my current students. So I very much enjoy making those connections.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to level one final question before we transition to the next segment to our cadet panelists. And this is just general words of advice, not necessarily restricted to just being an engineering student here at the Citadel, but what are those pieces of advice you're offering that high school senior who's in the final stages of making that cadet decision to be here?
I'll start off. So I'd say know why you chose the path you chose. If you choose to come here, you're in it for the long haul, and hold that reasoning for coming here close and dear to your heart, because there's going to be many trying times where you may not want to go on, but you just got to keep pushing.
I completely agree with that. And I would also say you got to be able to adapt and overcome constantly. Your freshman year is completely different from anything you've ever been through in your life, most likely. And so you got to be ready to get over that hurdle and just hit the ground running. And then sophomore year, you're in a completely different environment because you thought you knew the school, but you were just a knob the whole time. And so now you're in a different environment. You got to continue on with your academics. And then junior and senior year, you start getting tasked with leadership and other stuff. The school's pulling you to do some stuff, and academics is pulling you to do others. And so you got to find a balance and be able to work everything out. And just got to keep moving forwards the whole time.
Outstanding. I appreciate that. All right, now we're going to dive into some brass tack stuff. This is the return on investment. If you have your parents with you and you're watching tonight, this is the stuff that'll pique their attention. And that is, when you invest at the Citadel, what do you receive? It's really important that you have this information and clarity on this information in all the schools you are considering. A healthy part of this, again, is meeting our staff and understanding our processes, but also understanding what it means to be a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior with respect to preparatory work for employment. How is it that Citadel cadets, through our career services, our professional development opportunities, successfully land these outstanding jobs year in and year out? Let's find out.
There's never a day where I'm not excited about educating students on opportunities. I'm Paige Tisdale. I'm director of the Citadel Career Center. So I think because I really enjoy what I do, I hope to empower students to be able to find that, because a lot of people don't find it right out. It's not something that you just often fall into, right? Sometimes your path is a little windy. And I'm lucky that I have found it, and so I want to empower students to do the same thing, to find something they're passionate about. You know, I think young people have a lot of options. Obviously, coming to the Citadel is a very tough choice, and life at the Citadel is not easy. And so if you're choosing to come here, I think you're already buying in from day one that, I'm going to work really, really hard for the end goal. Not just the ring and not just to graduate, but partnering with us, that professional end goal. And so it's a very personal thing to me. Sometimes I get a little bit of pushback of, hey, you can't reach everybody. And I guess my response to that is, why not? To me, that's the reason that a career center exists. And so I grew up understanding and really loving the Citadel and knowing what it was all about, and really our mission to educate principal leaders. I believe in that, and I believe what we're doing here. And what I would say is that the employers, they buy into. So I'm really, really passionate about getting students connected early, planting the seed, looping back around sophomore year, junior year, so they're exploring, preparing, and engaging all along. So I'm passionate about it because if students start early, it really helps them get connected to career outcomes the day they walk across the stage.
Tonight, we have Tyler Till joining us. Tyler serves as both Assistant Director of Career Services and Employer Relations Manager. Tyler, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. That video gets me hyped every time.
It gets me hyped too, all these videos. That's why I'm here, I guess. But the video we just watched showcases kind of the institutional process that cadets follow to position themselves for this employment opportunities. Let's pick up maybe at the national level by diving into some of our institutional rankings and how the internship process fits in with these outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at this first slide, and we'll see some of our national rankings, and really a lot of them. The biggest one there for us tonight is look at that civil engineer. Undergraduate civil engineering ranked 9th nationally, as well as the engineering program in general being 17th. And a lot of these rankings come from who you've already heard from today. You hear from Dr. Watson and her great teaching and the relationships she's built, and then also the success of our students. And then I think some of it comes from the work we do in connecting these students to the employers so that they can go on and do great things and represent the Citadel well. And really, I think a lot of it comes, our main goal here at the Career Center is, you even heard Paige Tisdale talk about it, is explore, prepare, and engage. And those are really the 3 key words that define our work. As you can see, as you can read through here, the Citadel is really the career curriculum is integrated with the curriculum. And it's unlike any other place I've really ever been before. You see we're involved in all Leaders 101 courses, which are what every incoming freshman takes. We're part of the leadership training program. So that's, again, mandatory training that you're going to go through, as well as doing other courses. And specifically Leadership Day, your senior year. That's an awesome opportunity that you get to go to a place of interest, a business, a nonprofit, or whatever it may be, to see what that looks like, to see the world of work, see the opportunities in person. It looks a little different now, but hopefully we'll get back to that by 2025. But I think the biggest thing here is that this, like I said, it's integrated into the curriculum. I'm not a Citadel alumni. I've had the joy to work at other institutions, and nowhere is it this integrated in previous places I've worked. I've never got to do admissions presentations as a part of my career programming. Maybe in orientation, but rarely on the admissions side. And I think that shows how much we are committed to, again, exactly what we're talking about: explore, prepare, and engage, and providing those opportunities for students to explore majors, explore careers, prepare for them, which is the resume, the mock interview, all that good stuff, and then engage with employers. And really that's my role, as you said, and you can see here it says employer relations manager. That's a fancy word for employers call me to recruit Citadel students, and if they're not calling me, I'm calling them to get them to recruit Citadel students. And that's, basically what I do every day. And I love it. And I get the opportunity to work with some of the cadets you've seen today. And we have countless success stories of all these employers that really do want to come to the Citadel. Here's some names there currently, and this is just a small list. Dr. Watson mentioned how many civil engineers, we have more civil engineering companies than we have cadets, and that's a good problem to have. I would even say that civil engineering is probably one of the bigger employer sections that call me frequently, and that's why the Engineering Expo is such a great event, because we not only have an all majors career fair, which is we try to have enough employers for all our majors. That's where that Engineering Expo really stemmed from. Is there's a lot of engineering companies that are attracted to the Citadel, and they want to engage with those students. So I think the biggest piece, though, that I want to talk about is engaging early. And like I said, we're integrated into the classroom, into the curriculum, into the leadership training. But becoming a regular visitor of the Career Center is only going to be more beneficial. So even if it's just one time, your first year freshman semester, that gets the ball rolling, and that's really how you get to have these incredible outcomes. We talk a lot about having 80% in gainfully employed at graduation. And really on the engineering side, that's even closer to 90% or 100%, especially after the summer by August. And those are the numbers we're tracking all the time. But the internship part and getting experience is really how you get gainfully employed. I see a lot of students that I've worked with or been able to see have success. In the top right, Sarah Smith, she got an internship at Boeing. And a lot of that was through alumni networking. And that's another special piece of the Citadel that you'll learn if you haven't already learned, is that our alumni are a big part of where we generate a lot of those employer leads. Dr. Watson talked about having those relationships after students leave. I get calls all the time, and it's, hey, I'm Jim, class of 2012. Hey, class of 1965. Someone called me this week. So from recent grads to grads 30 years, 40 years out, want to engage with those, and that's where we take that seriously, and we want to engage with you. So it doesn't happen without that engagement piece. So you got to come to the Career Center. I wish it was just a magic job hat where I could hand you one, but the engagement piece happens where you interact with us, and we're going to create those opportunities to talk to employers with you. And again, to get to that stat of 80% or more gainfully employed. And that's a high bar that we've set, and that's a Citadel expectation. That is not normal. The national average is not that high. And we hold that, we're really proud of that number. And we always seek to do that. More places, especially at graduation, around the 60%. And we, again, have that high goal of 80% at graduation that we continue to maintain. I think my final point would just be take advantage of the resources. Really, the whole Career Center exists for prospective students and current students, right? So come to the Career Center, engage with us. And we're not just resumes. So, like I said, that explore piece can be more than just that. And that prepare piece can be more than resume. It can be choosing a major if engineering doesn't work out for you. It can be working on that mock interview and things like that. So Seamus, I don't know if I missed any pieces or if you have any other questions.
No, you haven't. In fact, it's another relationship piece. It's all born on relationships. It's exciting to hear the processes and understanding that the relationships transcend all 4 years into the alumni network that we have here.
That's one of the things I've like I said, I've worked at different institutions, and the alumni and the relationships. So you mentioned earlier that it's not a large school. That when I remember interviewing, and Paige and some of the other staff talked about they quickly named all these people, and I was like, how do they know everybody? And then I was here 6 months, and I feel like I knew everybody. So it can happen that fast.
Well, I appreciate your presentation. And again, we appreciate all the panelists that have been with us tonight. There's a couple of administrative things we're going to lead into, but I want to end this segment with a final video that we're going to take that underlies all of this success. There is an element that all of our candidates tonight need to think about. Cadets mentioned that come for the right reasons, and that fundamental reason can be as simple as, I want to develop into a better leader. That's a great place to start, why the Citadel is so important. But I think there's an underlying element that undergirds success here at the Citadel, and that is the simple idea that it takes grit. All right, I'm fired up. I hope you guys are too. We're going to get ready for our Zoom faculty breakout room. It's going to be hosted by Dr. Jeff Davis. Dr. Watson, I hope you might be able to join as well. I'm going to ask our cadets if you have a moment. I know you guys are tied up with a lot of schoolwork and everything else, but if you have a chance to join us, we'd appreciate that. Also, remember, all of our viewers, we're going to be emailing and texting you all roughly in about 30 to 45 minutes. That quick form link that will allow you to get that 2025 pennant. It takes 20 seconds to knock out a piece of cake, but it also ensures accurate delivery. Let's see. It looks like Josh has already posted the link. That's a good element right here. I want to thank all of our panelists tonight. Josh, if you wouldn't mind pulling our cadets up, that would be appreciated. I'm going to have them come back into the feed here so that they can wish our viewers well by one final element. And I should mention also that if any of our candidates are considering visiting the Citadel, we're open for business. We do have mandatory mask requirements, and social distancing is in place at all times, but we have cadet-led tours. You want to visit prenob.com if you decide to come for spring break or one of those elements, but it's important to be on this campus and see what we're doing here. But last but not least, I want to get back to our cadets here. Your right hands have gotten a little heavier in the past 5 months or so. I'd like you to show our candidates out there looking at this what the end goal is. Put that in the camera so we can see that, folks. That's the band of gold, and that's the prize. So keep your eyes peeled on that. That's a great place to end this format. Again, everybody, thank you for being here. We're posting the link on the right side. It should take you right there. And we'll see you guys on the Zoom breakout session right now. Thanks, everyone, for participating, and we'll see you soon.